Hey guys, my sense is that there's a lot of heaviness moving through the heart chakra right now. Um, and, it can feel really exhausting to be with. Um, it can feel kind of like overwhelming. Maybe a lot of you are just crying and crying and crying, having huge releases through the heart center. Perhaps others of you, you're feeling quite numb in the heart. It's like you can feel there's a heaviness there, but you can't quite touch it. You can't quite make contact with it. It's just like it's kind of buried under lock and key. I feel like in the collective, there's a lot of catharsis and healing going on in the collective heart. And, we're all connected to each other. So we're all going to be experiencing similar things, maybe at different times on our path. But right now, I feel like those of you who watch this channel, you might be feeling quite a bit of density moving through your heart space. And we all have a different relationship to how density moves through our heart space, right? For some of us, it can be super frustrating. For others, it can be something that they could feel that they were needing. They were needing to slow down. There's nothing like density in the heart space or grief in the heart that slows us down. It's like, I think for what's coming up right now, we have to slow down for it. It's so much. It's like this density in the heart. It's like maybe taking all of your awareness to be with, like every drop of your life force. And even then, it can still be a struggle to meet it, right? And so, for me, it's been like that today, where it's just been a lot to be with, and I've really had to slow down for it. I actually just went to this group where it felt very heart-centered. It was like a big group of people, like 70-something people, and I was just sitting there connecting to my heart. And I think what's coming through, it can be downright scary for a lot of you, what you're experiencing in your heart center. You could be having, your thought could be kind of producing these thoughts of like, oh no, this isn't good to be feeling, something's going on, something's wrong with the heart center. You could be having sensations that provoke a lot of fear, because these sensations are really difficult to be with. They could be really electric. They could be really terrifying. You could have a lot of shakiness in the heart center, a lot of jitters, a lot of pulsations. It's like as the heart kind of unveils a new layer of itself, like the energetic heart, my hands look weird because I have to like scrunch in the car today. It's very cold here. So as your heart is unveiling a new layer, it can feel like opening, as it's opening more deeply, it can, there can be all kinds of energetic symptoms that come. It could be burning. I've been feeling like a lot of ice cold type of, chilly type of energy. And that's like a sign when trauma's releasing, when trauma's coming up, it can feel really cold and icy. With burning, you could have a lot of heat. Some of you might have heat. So, ultimately this is like whether you want to feel like it's your karma that's burning or you're helping the collective. A lot is moving through the heart center. And so I just wanted to make this so that you guys could feel maybe heard, seen, have something to relate to as you go through your own alchemical process in the heart chakra. And sometimes as we meet a new layer of ourself, at first it can be really shocking. It can be shocking how much pain we've been carrying. It can be shocking how much heartbreak we've actually been storing deep down within. And at first it can be so shocking that to even try to feel it can feel like it can just be too much. And that's where the veils of like numbness and disassociation will start to occur. a lot of times we can feel kind of out of our body because these feelings in the heart center feel like too much to be with. For a lot of you, you've just been like blown open recently in the heart chakra probably, and you don't even know it until you do. And so you might feel like you're floating, you might feel like your sense perceptions are off, your relationship with your limbs might even feel a bit weird for a while. It's like because you're trying to have you're actually in this period where you're learning how to be this open. You're having to go through this integration period. I'm even going through one myself where I'm opening to deeper layers of my own being, deeper layers of my own darkness and light. You can't have one without the other. So many of you are opening to new layers of yourself, hidden layers that, your psyche's probably been trying to keep you from your whole entire existence. Because your psyche's been convinced, no, that's too much to feel. That darkness all the way down in the heart center, too much to feel. No way. We're putting up this barrier. We're putting up a wall. We're not doing it. But now you are doing it. Now it's time to meet that darkness, to meet that pain, that heartbreak. And so you might notice as it comes up, you might feel a bit frozen, stuck, numb, disassociated. These are all signs that we just need to slow down and to breathe and to really do what we can for the body, to do what we can for the psyche. What can we do to help soothe? Like I went to this big group that was very soothing. It was very loving. It was very calm. So it's like, what can we do to regulate our nervous system? What can we do to help ourselves get in our body and to be with that really difficult sensation right in the center of your heart? Like right now, that's the kind of breaths that I've been needing. I've been really needing just to let myself slow down. To make being, even if this heartbreak isn't related to anything in your current circumstances or reality, to make being heartbroken okay, even if it's something really, really old from the past. When one of my spiritual teachers sat with me for the first time, she told me it feels like there's a deep heartbreak in you from past lives even. So some of this stuff could be from long, long ago. And you just have the light and the spaciousness and the presence in this life to release it. Some of this stuff could be related to the collective agony and heartbreak that's going on right now. It's like we're upgrading the collective heart to this heart that realizes when you bomb someone else, you're bombing yourself. When you go to war with another, you're actually going to war with yourself. And it's like, can we start to know that? Can that recognition and that inner knowing start to wake up in all hearts, in all human hearts? And the only way it does that is by you, whoever's watching this video still. It's by you continuing to open to the heaviness and the density in your heart, and by meeting it with your loving presence. Because as you clear the stuff in your own heart, you're clearing it for the one. It's all connected. It's all one thing. It's all one trauma. You could say it's all one darkness. It's all one light. So yeah, we're doing this not just for our own personal well-being, which is a part of it, of course. I mean, who doesn't want to live from a deeper depth in their heart? It can be scary at first. It can be like, hell no, I don't want that. But as you mature on the path, you actually value living from a deeper depth more than you value feeling good or bad, pleasure or pain, high or low, ecstasy or sad. Those things are all just fluctuations that ebb and flow through your awakening experience. But it's living at a depth. It's living from the center of your being that's really valued. Because when you're there, it's like the deeper in the ocean you are, the less the waves on the surface have any effect on you. And you can appreciate the waves, you know, the waves of sadness and joy, and this loving wave comes through, and then the heartbreak wave comes through, and then a painful wave, a fearful wave, a creative wave, you know, all these sensations and dynamic experiences that we have in form. It's like you get to appreciate those and even ride those waves and experience the richness of them, and all the different textures that sensations and feelings and emotions can bring forward. It's a beautiful kind of dance you get to have with them. But you know they're impermanent and they're fleeting, and no feeling stays forever, whether we're labeling it good or bad. And eventually you transcend labeling feelings good or bad, of course. It's all just a temporary experience. And it's the ego mind that wants more of these feelings and less of those. And, but we outgrow that paradigm. You know, we outgrow the law of attraction and all of this stuff. To where, you know, eventually, you know, we just want to keep experiencing life from a deeper and deeper dimension within ourselves. Until kind of we lose ourselves. And we know ourselves as life. And there's no longer a separation between ourselves and another. Between ourselves and a tree. And when we all start to wake up to this realization, and this is the realization that happens in the unified heart, when you go deep enough within your own heart chakra, you start to realize and live and know this unification, this oneness with life. And it's this realization that will bring an end to war, to destruction, to violence. And this realization can only be met and experienced, can only be experienced through meeting everything within your heart center, everything within yourself. The darkness, the density, the pain, the heartbreak, the super tender, fragile, terrified parts. It can only be experienced through meeting all of those parts. It's like that's the price for admission into living in a state of oneness with life, is the willingness to be with what might be uncomfortable for the mind, for the psyche, for the human, for the egoic layers. And you hold those layers. You don't bypass them. You hold them with love, with patience, with compassion, with care. And it takes a certain type of strength to abide in the center of your being. And kind of until it doesn't, until that strength is just you, it's just there. Yeah, this video has been really helpful for me. Even I've through the speaking, I've like talked myself into a deeper non-dual state, a deeper state of oneness with what is. And when there's a lot of pain coming up and a lot of density, we can start to feel real separate, can't we? We can start to feel real disconnected from our source, from our divine nature. But it's actually when we start to really meet the pain directly that sense of oneness and belonging and connectedness comes back. And that's what we're all really longing for, is that connectedness with who and what we truly are. That union with the divine. That's what we're all really, really wanting underneath any desire. We're wanting to feel that love, that safety, that inner knowing that all is well. Even when the heart chakra is on fire and we're having all kinds of symptoms and we're super uncomfortable and the mind's freaking out. Something in us still knows when we connect deep enough, that all is well. And that all is going perfectly according to God's plan. And so I hope this video helped you all as much as it helped me, and brought you guys as much resource and support as it brought me. You know, these videos really support me on my path too. And you'll notice that as you start becoming of service to others, you just start showing up for the divine, that just being of service, like the Bhagavad Gita talks about, is its own path to union with the divine, to union with something greater than your egoic self and your egoic limited self and your egoic thoughts and beliefs and opinions, etc. That being of service can really help that self kind of, in a sense, dissolve or relax, so that you can feel the true self come online more fully. Yeah, sending you all so much love. You're all warmly welcome to our WhatsApp group. Yeah, I'll put all the offerings I got in the comments. I just want to say, you know, I love you all so much, and I appreciate you doing this work with me, moment by moment, day after day. Yeah, it's a real honor to be here with you. And yeah, may peace be with you all. Namaste.